I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Grief counselors were at Marlboro High School today to help students cope with the loss of a classmate following a crash along a local roadway early Saturday morning. 16-year-old Sarah Smith of Newburgh, a sophomore at Marlboro High School, was killed when the SUV she was riding in slammed into a telephone pole along Western Avenue. Police say Smith was ejected from the vehicle and died a short time later at St. Francis Hospital in Poughkeepsie. The driver, 18-year-old Marlboro senior Devin Pierre, was treated and released. Another passenger, a 15-year-old girl, was in stable condition. Members of Smith's family, along with classmates and other friends, held an impromptu memorial service at the utility pole where the crash occurred and where people left flowers, notes, and candles at a makeshift shrine. Smith's family also left a live Christmas tree at the site, trimmed with battery-powered lights to symbolize their holiday season loss. Marlboro police have begun their investigation to determine why the SUV veered off the road and into the pole. The Marlboro community would be touched by a second tragedy about 24 hours later. 48-year-old Donald Dawson of Marlboro was killed Sunday morning when his car was hit by another vehicle that had turned onto Route 9W. Dawson was pronounced dead at the scene. The 4 occupants of the second vehicle were hospitalized for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. This morning, 2 people were hurt when the car they were in rolled over and traveled down an embankment along Route 17A in the town of Goshen. It happened shortly before 9:30 on a stretch of 17A between Houston and Gibson Roads. The 2 occupants had to be extricated from the wreckage, with one later airlifted to a regional hospital and the second reportedly taken by ambulance to Good Samaritan Hospital in Rockland County. Their conditions or identities were not known. Further information on the accident was not immediately available. It was a close call for the pilot of a sailplane that crashed into trees while attempting to land at Randall Airport in the town of Wallkill Sunday afternoon. And the operator, who was not identified by police, was able to walk away once Mechanicstown firefighters helped him out of his damaged aircraft. Responders used a bucket truck to tie down the wing and tail in order to stabilize it during the recovery. The plane is registered to the Valley Soaring Club of Middletown. The Federal Aviation Administration was notified and they will be conducting an investigation. A town of Mamakating man accused of being in the marijuana growing business will be brought to town court tomorrow. 33-year-old David Johnson Jr. was arrested after Sullivan County Sheriff's deputies paid a visit to his home at 51 Ministers Flats Road. Authorities say they discovered 69 pot plants as well as marijuana growing equipment plus a loaded shotgun in a building on the property. Johnson has been held without bail pending tomorrow's court appearance. Deputies estimate the value of his marijuana crop at $50,000. A handful of liberal activists gathered near the Old Dutch Church in Kingston Saturday, and they made it clear they want the Bush tax cuts to expire for those who earn more than $250,000 a year. Members of the groups Move On and Citizen Action urged newly re-elected area Congressman Chris Gibson to help pull the government away from the fiscal cliff. The combination of tax increases and spending cuts scheduled to take effect January 1st, that some economists say would send the country back into recession. The protesters were joined by outgoing Democrat Congressman Maurice Hinchey, who said the more money you make, the more taxes you should pay. It may not be a death sentence, but it remains a serious health threat. And Saturday, people gathered in Kingston to commemorate World AIDS Day. On display, a section of the AIDS Memorial Quilt that honors the memory of those who have died after contracting the AIDS virus. New treatments have triggered more optimism in the ongoing fight against AIDS. More than 200 new cases were diagnosed in the region in the past year, with an estimated 6,200 area residents currently living with HIV. Nearly 3,800 people in the Hudson Valley have died from AIDS in the past few decades. People gathered at West Point Cemetery Saturday to continue what has become a tradition there and elsewhere. More than 800 wreaths that were purchased and donated were placed at grave sites of fallen heroes, one of the hundreds of solemn ceremonies to be held across the country this month as part of the Wreaths Across America National Tribute It's held during this special time of year to remember those who gave their lives for our country. Many of the adults brought their children, an important component in the Wreaths Across America mission.
Kind of the motto from Wreaths Across America is remember, honor, teach. It's remember the fallen, honor the families, and teach the young. So when we do this, we have to try and incorporate all three of those aspects to really make it be complete.
The West Point ceremony has grown over the years. It began in 2010 when 6 people placed 70 wreaths at grave sites during a driving snow and rainstorm. And sometimes Santa's sleigh can resemble a motorcycle. That was the case Sunday as members of the Wurtsboro Harley Owners Group hit the road with about 500 toys bound for Woodburn to be given to the kids that attend the Sullivan Head Start program there. The bikers first brought the toys to O'Toole's Harley-Davidson in Wurtsboro, where they were wrapped, then driven up to Woodburn, with Santa a featured rider in the convoy. O'Toole's and the Wurtsboro Hogs have been doing the toy drive for more than 25 years. The unseasonably mild weather will stick around for another day. Tuesday will be partly cloudy with temperatures getting up around 60 degrees. A shower could kick things off on Wednesday with a mix of sun and clouds expected for the rest of the day. And it won't be quite as mild with highs Wednesday expected to reach 50 degrees. You'll find news when it breaks here at Record Online, and the Times-Herald Record has you covered each and every morning. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.